What's poppin', my J dolls? And I am back with another video. Before I start this video, you guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell. You guys, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so don't play with us, because we are not one of them at all. Period. Y'all, I'm in a different location. Hopefully y'all like it. I don't know. But today, you guys, before I get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell. You guys, make sure you always check the description box, because it'll tell you everywhere you can follow me. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, at It's a Juana Thing. So just make sure you go check that out. So today I'm going to be talking about how I quit my job without a plan, and how everyone can quit their job without a plan. This is crazy, y'all. If y'all ready for this, is y'all ready for this revolution? Okay? I hope so. So yeah, y'all, everybody can quit their jobs without a plan. I'm going to tell you guys what I did, the pros and cons and shit like that, and then I'm going to tell you guys the risk. Obviously, there's always some risk, but I really feel like the benefits outweigh the risk. Like, trust me, you guys. So anyways, I'm going to just tell a little background about my job, what I was doing previously, why I quit my job, and how I became a part of this great resignation that I didn't even know was a thing before I was thinking about quitting, and I started watching everything on YouTube, just like you guys. And I'm like, what the hell? This is like actually a thing, and it is. So anyways, before this, I was a retail manager. I was assistant store manager, mostly focused on merchandising. I have been in management since I graduated college, which was almost 6 years ago for my undergrad. 6 years ago? I think almost 6 years ago, because I'm almost done with my master's right now. So I've been in the management field for retail, and I don't know if any of you guys are in that field. If you are, you know it's very stressful. So it was always stressful every day of work, every day of life, especially holidays, especially like pandemic, all of those things going on. I kind of felt in that career by default, like I was pretty much recruited for a position. I got the position right before I graduated college. It was a good salary in my eyes at the time. It was my goal salary. No one else I knew had a job yet lined up. So I'm like, yes, I will take it. And let me tell you, that was a roller coaster. And it was a mess. And it was a lot of drama. And I hated that job so much. And it was very depressing. So eventually I ended up leaving that job. And I ended up going to a different job. The same field, but a different job. And they actually also recruited me. So it was kind of like by default, I also got that job. And that job did pay me a lot more than my previous job did for the same job. And I felt really good, and I felt really comfortable. And I was able to live a life that, a normal 25-year-old would not live. Now, I wouldn't say I was rich. I was middle class. But then I learned, you guys, I wasn't happy. And I think that's the biggest thing you want to take from this video is no matter how much money you have, if you're not happy, it's not worth it. And I didn't learn that until like the very end of me working this job. Like I always put money up here, not like money over people or anything, but like living a comfortable lifestyle, having money, having materialistic things means you're successful and means that you're on a good path. But that doesn't always mean you're successful. You have to find ways to define your own success, but that's a whole nother story. If you guys want a deep background or story time of my crazy last job and all the things that I went through, what I would say here is that at my last job and at the job before that for the same position, my boss at both of those jobs made me cry. On the fucking job, made me cry. Made me very depressed, made me have anxiety at both of these jobs. So, long story short, that didn't even push me to quit my job. Honestly, what pushed me to quit my job was the employee shortage. And like I said, I can give you a deeper detail of like what happened in the meeting where my boss made me cry. Like there's some crazy shit that has happened in my career, in my life. where certain people shouldn't have been able to do certain things to me. And honestly, to this day, I regret not quitting the day that I cried and walked out of that job and told my boss that I was going to take a sick day and then not come 2 days later and told him I was taking 2 more sick days. I wish I had the motivation to quit then. Like, and I'm telling you guys right now, if you're in a bad situation, quit now. Like, quit now. Like, it's not worth your mental health. It's not worth being took advantage of or disrespected. And I'll tell you many reasons why. But quit now. Obviously, I would definitely recommend a 2 weeks notice, because you want to be able to use it as a reference if you do go on to another job or whatever you decide to do with your life. But either ways, that's not what made me quit. What actually made me quit was the employee shortage. So at my job, we were getting really, really bad. We did not have any employees. No one was applying. People were quitting left and right. Managers started quitting, and then I quit, and then after one manager quit, then I quit, then all the managers quit. Like, when I tell you not one manager, not even the boss was there, he quit. So it was because of employee shortage and how the company was handling it. They just wanted us to overwork ourselves instead of handling the situation or shortening the hours or whatever. If you want a whole nother story on that, comment below and I will let you know about what type of drama happened there, how the whole management team quit, and what happened. But either way, that was the whole reason why I quit, because I decided this is enough. Like, I'm no longer going to be a slave to society. I'm no longer going to work my behind off for someone else's dream, for someone else's check. Why do I need this job? I don't, because I felt at the time I'm about to graduate from my master's, which I am in about 3 or 4 weeks. I'm like, I can go on to something else and be in a business, more of a business position versus a retail position with a more consistent schedule. Like, at this point, you guys, I was working 10 hours a day. 1 week I would do 10 hours a day for 4 days. So I have 3 days off. And then 1 week I will do 10 hours a day for 6 days. I mean 6 days, y'all. I was freaking tired. And this was a very physically demanding job. Like, I was on the sales floor sometimes. And then I did have office time, but it was very demanding once we didn't have any employees, because I just started to be a sales associate. Like, I was getting paid to be a sales associate. Like, it didn't make any sense. And like, a sales associate that was being ran to the ground, like, period. Like, we didn't even have enough people to run the registers, to do the fitting rooms, to even clean the damn store. So at this point, I couldn't do my job of planning merchandise sets, of, planning for my team, coaching my team, and doing this, and focus on payroll, focus on these things that are going on. I had to focus on being a sales associate, and that was not okay to me at all. And I had already recommended things to my district manager to change those, but she didn't. So that was my last straw with that. I'm gonna tell you guys what I did, how I've been literally unemployed for like almost a month now, and honestly, it feels amazing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I have a little bit of privilege compared to some people, so just take everything with a grain of salt. Also, take everything with what you feel like is best for you. So what I did when I quit my job is I just started thinking like, what am I going to do next? Like, am I going to go back into another job? Do I want to take a break? Do I want to finish my schooling first and then go back to work? What do I want to do? Because I'm in my master's and I'm going to graduate in a month. Should I just finish that because it's going to be a big project that I have to put my focus in? Or should I just go back to work? At this time, you guys, I did have some money in my savings. I would say like it was like I could pay probably a few months rent with the amount that I had in my savings, which was nice, so I knew I wouldn't be homeless, things like that, because I knew if it came down to it, like, I had enough to pay all my bills for that first month for sure, like a full month, and then after that I had enough for a couple months of rent. And so I knew if it came down to it, I would never be homeless, that I could pay my bills, and I've never been late on a bill ever in my life. So if I really needed to push a bill back, it wouldn't be a problem. Obviously, I would pay my rent first before anything. So I knew that I never had a late bill. So I knew that whoever I had to deal with would work with me if I ever got to that point. But also at that time, I knew that I could find the job in a short amount of time, you guys. Right now, there's so many jobs. Do not settle for less, you guys. Like, everyone's hiring and everyone's desperate. When I mean desperate, they are desperate, okay? They will pay you the toppest dollar for the easiest job. I'm just telling you right now, like, you can demand what you want. You can choose what type of job you want. And you got to keep that in mind. When you're looking for this, don't settle. Don't settle if you want to go back in the workforce. Me, currently, I have a different mindset, which I would tell you guys, but this is how I was thinking in the beginning. So I'm like, thinking of that. I'm like, okay, whatever, fuck it. I don't give a damn. I'm about to put my damn 2 weeks notice in. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I got enough money for rent, and I know I'm not going to be homeless. Another thing, you guys, about me, if I ever got bad, I knew that there's a lot of side hustles you can do. Like, you can do DoorDash. You can do Lyft. You can make a damn near middle class salary if you live in a city where Lyft is like really popping, or Uber or whatever. And Amazon Flex. I actually decided to do Amazon Flex, so I do Amazon Flex on the side sometimes. And they pay here in Minnesota $35 an hour. Okay, so you make a lot of money and you don't get taxed on that money. So remember that. And then what else is there? They're shipped. You can just deliver people's groceries. You can do shit on your own schedule. Now, the thing about that is that you obviously got to use your car, and the wear and tear on your car can cost you money. So you always got to remember that. And if you don't have a reliable vehicle, I would not do that, because obviously you're going to put a hell of miles on it and you're going to have another bill that you can't afford. So that's on your own decisions on that. Me personally, I do Amazon, and I have a car that's a lease, and it's a 2021. So you guys, if something happens to my car, I just take it to the dealership and it's covered for free. If you don't have a warranty on your car, or your car is just not in good shape, I would not recommend that, because once you're out of a car, you're out of a job, and you're out of money. So you just gotta really think of that. But I already knew that, I had savings. Then I knew that I could always do side hustle if I need to pay like a smaller bill, like a car note or insurance or whatever. I knew that I had that backup plan if I needed to. Also with my job, I knew when I quit, I was going to get another check. And that check was going to have my vacation that I had left over. So if you do work a job and you do have vacation left over, they will pay you out for your vacation about 90% of the time. So just remember that when you're budgeting. Now for sick time, them motherfuckers don't pay you out for sick time. So I recommend, honey, if you know you're going to quit, you should just take 2 weeks of sick time and put your 2 weeks notice in the first day of your, I don't know how you can do it. You can do it the first day of your sick time and email it to them. Or text it to them. I don't know what you gotta do, but use your sick time. And I regret that, because I had 2 weeks of sick time that I never used and didn't get paid for. So remember that. So those were my plans in the beginning. Then I start thinking like, do I ever really want to go back to work? What do I want to do in my life? And I started thinking, I'm like, I want to focus on a business. Like, I really wanted to always own my own business. And I've been thinking about it for like a year or two now, and I've never had the time to really put the time, the effort into it. I already knew what business I was going to go into. And y'all, I will tell you guys in another video about my business. But yeah, so I already knew what type of business I wanted to go into, and I knew why I wanted to go into that business. And then I also knew I really love YouTube, so I want to also focus on my YouTube. So my mind started shifting, because I'm like, okay, what if I can get a loan for a business? Then maybe I can focus on my business instead of trying to jump back into a job. Because I knew that I could get hired, not to put myself like, I don't know how to say, but I knew I could get hired. And I knew if I was definitely going to go back to the field that I was in, which I never will, because it doesn't make sense. Anywhere I go, that's still retail is going to have the same exact problem, so I would never do that. But I knew even outside of what I was doing, I could go to project management. I can go to sales management. I can do corporate management, because I have the management skills and I have the knowledge and I have the degree. So I knew that I could do this, but I was like, you know what? I want to see if I could work for myself first. Like, if I can make myself successful by myself, like, and I feel like I would feel better about it. Because actually, guys, I have a vision board, and everything on my vision board I could not get done because of this job. Okay? At all. So anyways, what I decided to do was apply for a loan. Now, you guys, like I said, everything I tell you, my experience, take everything with a grain of salt, because this is all on you at the end of the day. You got to make sure if you are taking out a loan, you're going to use it for something that's going to give you the money back. You know, eventually, like something that is going to be worth it. I don't say like if you quit your job, taking a loan out just to take it out because you don't have a job. That's your own decision, but I would not suggest that, because that won't really get you far, because at the end of the day, you also have to pay that loan off every month. So you got to remember that. So anyways, I did get approved for a loan. So if you have decent credit, at least decent credit, some credit history, and you make a decent amount of money at that time. Y'all, this is another thing is I recommend. If you are trying to sign for a loan, make sure you do it before you quit your job. Like, you can put your 2 weeks notice in and then sign up for the loan, but make sure it's while you still have a job, because it's going to ask you what's your income and stuff. Where do you work? And technically, you still work there, and technically that's still your income, so that you can still get approved for the loan. So obviously they take an account of how much you make a year, what your credit score is, blah, blah, blah. So obviously you have to have those things to be able to get the loan. Luckily I did have those things, so I was able to get approved for a loan pretty easy. Like, they approve you in like literally like a minute, and you get the money within like 3 days. So like I said, that's when you do that, be smart with it. You guys, the thing about me, when I did that, right away I started working on my business, because I knew, I'm gonna have to pay this loan back. This loan is hella interest, so I have to be on top of, starting my business, getting it on it, like off the ground, making a great profit margin, knowing what the fuck I'm doing. Okay, you have to, and even if you fail, that at least you put the effort and the time, and you invested in yourself, and you're being smart with your money. Because if you take out a loan, obviously, and then you just not using it for the right things, you're gonna get into hella debt, and you're gonna not be able to pay that loan off because you don't have a job. And then you're going to just have a bunch of shit, but nothing to show for it. So just know that, because I am very smart. I've been very smart. And that's something I just learned on my own recently, because I love things and I like to shop. I love designer stuff. If you watch my videos, I really like that stuff. But I learned that type of stuff doesn't make me happy. What makes me happy is feeling fulfilled, feeling at peace, being on my own schedule, and stuff like that. That was what makes me happy. Traveling makes me happy. So if I could travel for business, I'm going to travel for business. If I could take a little trip here and then still be running my business while I'm there, that's what I want to do. But anyways, y'all, I'm sorry. I talk a lot. Anyway, so I got the loan and I was able to start working in my own business. So y'all, in a matter of just like, I literally quit my job a month ago. I already went to LA, bought all my inventory for my business. Already got my business name. Already signed up for a website, already got a photo shoot lined up, already about to get my photos taken, already about to set up my website and then get it launched. That's the type of time you have to be on. If you're in the great resignation where you don't want to go back to work, don't start off with doing nothing. Y'all, when I tell y'all, when I quit my job and it was my first day off, I was not just sitting around the house. Ever since I started thinking about my business, everything I do is about my business. All day today, about my business. Having lunch with people, about my business. So, anyway, long story short, if you are going down the route, you don't ever want to go back to work again, and you can get a loan, because if you don't have enough money to invest in that, that's what you can do. But make sure you're also doing side hustles on the side so that you can pay off your loan. Because if you don't have savings, eventually you're going to be dipping in your loans to pay for your bills, which is okay, but you just need to make sure you have something coming in to kind of help you with some of these, cost of living and stuff like that, or you need to have some type of savings or something. Another thing I did, which I don't recommend, and I know, and I'm just being transparent with everyone just so they know that they can quit their job, and this is how I quit my job, this is how you can quit your job without being homeless, without, being broke. So let me just tell y'all what I did. So for me personally, I have 401k. Like I said also, you guys, I'm very privileged in the way that I had opportunities because I had a full-time job with benefits. So it may vary for other people if they don't have a full-time job with benefits. But I had a full-time job with benefits, so I had 401k. I'm 25, y'all. I'm not gonna retire anytime soon. Yes, I know it's smart to start your retirement fund early, blah 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 blah. But I ain't give a fuck, bitch. I'm taking my motherfucking money straight out. Okay, and then maybe in 2 more years, then I'm gonna be really on top of just staying on like my 401k, like not ever taking that shit out if I quit my job, and just rolling it over to a Roth account. Because you can roll your shit over to a Roth account if you don't want to take it out, but I'm gonna take it out because I don't got a job. So if you don't got no job, you ain't got no savings, but you got a 401k, pull it out. I mean, you don't got no choice. You don't have a job. You know, so either way, it's like that's what I did. And apparently you can't, another thing to know about that is a lot of companies, you can't take that out until like a couple weeks after you get your last paycheck from your job. And you know, paychecks are going to come after you quit because it depends on how you get paid. Either ways. So yeah, so I had that money. So, you know, at the end of the day, I was able to be like, okay, I don't have to work. Personally, I don't have to work for like 3 months and I'll be fine. Like no work at all. But I have been pushing myself from day one to say, no, I'm going to still do Amazon on the side. I don't want to get too comfortable, you know. And then while I'm doing Amazon, I'm going to be doing my YouTube and I'm going to be doing my business. Once I launch my business, which money is coming in for my business. If I can see that my business is going to support me for the rest of my life, like if I see 3 months, people are actually really buying into what I'm selling, which I really think people are going to buy into what I'm selling because the people that I'm targeting need this. The people that I'm targeting want to see this. So either ways, I think that's going to work. So anyways, I'm giving myself like 3 months to really start up my business. Really, I'm really starting this business in a month and a half. I'm really proud of myself because I just finished inventory, naming all my stuff. You know, about to get my pictures tomorrow. Come back, do my marketing, and then boom, I'm gonna get the website up. I have my logo working on. I'm getting all my other stuff. So either way, I'm giving myself about 3 months. If I'm not where I want to be in 3 months, I would say by March, because in February I have a trip planned. In December I have a trip planned. Yes, I'm still going on trips. Yes, it can be done. You have to be smart though. You have to be able to budget because money goes like this. No matter how much money you have, it goes like this. And that's something I really learned. But either way, I'm giving myself 3 months. If 3 months my business is just not doing it for me, like I'm trying my best, I'm doing my marketing, I'm paying for marketing. I'm paying like people to promote my stuff. I'm promoting my own stuff. And I'm doing the best that I can for 3 months straight. If it's not working for me, then I will go back to work. And I will go back to a job. And I'm just saying this because not even manifesting. Manifesting is very important, but you also got to know your worth. But I know that if I exit out of this and my business doesn't do what I needed to do, which I really think is going to do what I needed to do, I can get a job making 6 figures. Like, I could easily get a job making 6 figures or more with a master's degree in my experience. So I know I can enter another field and get a different job. And right now, you guys, if you are looking to go back to a different job, you just don't want to be at this job, right now is the best time to try to get a job that's either not in your field or you have some experience, but you haven't had a lot of experience to get that job because everyone is hiring and everyone is desperate. I don't know where everyone is at. I watch these videos and I know people are getting tired of it. People are getting tired of working and stuff like that. I don't know if they're just doing what I'm doing right now, but I'm just like, how are they surviving? You know, I don't think I could survive that long, you know. And also for me personally, I don't like to feel uncomfortable. This is the most uncomfortable I ever felt in my life. I do not like to feel uncomfortable. I like to always have a certain amount of money. I always like to be knowing for sure this month I'm getting this week I'm getting paid this, whatever. But sometimes in life it's nice to feel uncomfortable, to feel at risk, because then you feel like you're living, like you're doing something different, like you are experiencing something. Like if you're just doing the same shit and never have a risk in life, like It is boring. Life is boring. And I'm telling you guys right now, like, Joanna, like, a year ago would be like, bitch, you're fucking crazy. Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you quit your job and not have another job? Like, are you dumb or are you stupid? Like, let one of my family members come up to me and say, oh, I just quit my job. I don't got no job. I don't know what I'm going to do. I would have looked at them a year ago like, are you dumb? Like, what are you saying? Like, no. Take that 2 weeks notice back. So I kind of looked at life differently. I want to be happy. I don't want to be depressed at work. I don't want to be tired every day, slaving for someone else. I don't want someone to tell me what to do every 5 seconds. I don't want someone chewing me out about some decisions they made, you know? And especially when you have a shitty boss, a very shitty boss, and getting past the shitty boss and then your job getting shitty, that's too much. So, you know, if I lost you guys because I'm talking so much, I would suggest, if you're looking for another job, don't be afraid to quit your job right now without having another job. And the reason why is because there's so many jobs out there, so many people hiring. You can ask for what you want money-wise right now, as long as it's reasonable, obviously. Some of these aren't reasonable and they still get paid this, so whatever. Do what you want to do, but I would say if you're definitely thinking of getting back into the job market, quit your job. You're going to find a job. There's no worry. Just make sure you have plans of like, okay, if you quit your job, are you going to do a side hustle? Are you going to take out a loan? Are you going to take a 401k? Or do you have savings? Like, what are you going to do to supplement that? Obviously, you got to think about that because you can't just quit without thinking about nothing. Now, you can quit without a plan, but you can't quit without nothing. You have to think about it, you know, in some sort. So just make sure you're thinking of that. If you're thinking of never going into the job market again, you know, and you want to start your own business, you want to do something like that, go for that. But you need to make sure, obviously, you have something, you have like decent credit, or you can get a loan, or you have a family member that wants to. Honestly, I don't really believe in partnerships. I just think they get so messy. But if you have a family member that wants to go into partnership with you in a business, or if you have enough savings to start up a business, blah, blah, blah. Remember, you guys, businesses, I didn't know this till starting it, it's expensive as fuck. When I mean as fuck. So just remember that, like, if you only have like a couple thousand in your savings account, that's probably not going to supplement enough for a business. So you just got to make sure, some businesses, because you could do a drop ship or whatever. Well, it depends on what business you're going into. But if you're going to have inventory on hand, which that's a whole nother video you can look at. I would look for people that are more versed in business when it comes to like entrepreneurship. But anyways, it costs a lot of money. So when you went into something like that, you have to be committed to even taking a loss and what loss can do to your life. You have to be passionate enough about this and why you're doing this. And I know why I'm doing this, because this is something I always wanted to do. This is something that will make me feel free and liberated and happy. And I just feel so strong about it. The way I be talking about our business all day, every day, I swear. I'm just so happy with my decision so far. So honestly, I have no regrets. And I think everyone can do it. It's just about how you do it. You don't even have to go back and work for nobody. If you just don't want to work for nobody no more, and let's say you get paid like $25 an hour, I don't know how much every specific person gets paid, but if you get paid like $25 an hour, for example, you could do you can do Amazon Flex. It's more than $25 an hour. Now the thing is, Amazon Flex is not reliable, so you might have to do something else on the side. Whatever you want to do, but you on your own schedule, and it's less demanding. You don't have a boss. Or you could do Lyft. I think Lyft drivers making sometimes $30 an hour. Whatever you want to do with your life, you can do it. Also, make sure though, if you go into things that you're working for yourself, that you want to obviously save money to go towards your taxes. Save all your receipts, because most likely sometimes it evens out if you have all your receipts for your purchases like gas, mileage. You gotta remember your mileage, all that stuff. That's a whole nother video. But long story short, y'all, I'm so happy I quit my job. This is how you can quit your job if you really are like, what the fuck am I going to do? This is never going to happen, blah, blah. I really feel like right now in this generation, we have too many opportunities to fail. You know what I mean? But like I said, always don't put yourself in a predicament where you're going to be homeless, obviously, unless that's just what you want to do. Maybe, I don't know. But don't put yourself in a predicament where you know that you can't survive, obviously. If you can't have any of those options to help you survive, then you might want to look to maybe having a backup plan. Those are a lot of options. If you can't take any of those options, then I probably would try to look for another job before quitting, because you just want to be smart. You don't want to be like behind on all your bills and getting put out and evicted. So yeah, so anyways, that is pretty much my Great Resignation video. I hope it was helpful. This was all from the top of my head, okay? Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.